So soon, after just a few hours, the United States of America will impose tariffs on the entire world, and this will be very brutal for every nation. Even though the tariffs are not yet in place, the effects of these tariffs can already be seen everywhere. So let us discuss in simpler terms what is happening, and why the whole world is going to shake up in the upcoming few hours. Well, when America sneezes, the world catches a cold. This famous and practical quote will soon be demonstrated in real life, as the 2nd of April, this historic date, will be doomsday for many nations, or you could say for the entire world, because reciprocal tariffs will start from the US side on this date. The US President Donald Trump is calling this day Liberation Day, because these tariffs are designed to counteract what the administration perceives as unfair trade practices by various nations. The effects of these tariffs will be massive because the US is a major trading partner and one of the most profitable markets for most nations. When tariffs are raised, goods become more expensive to import, leading to inflation, disruptions in supply chains, and reduced trade volume. Now I want to show a clip of White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, showing a list of tariffs implemented by other nations on the US. Whatever amount she mentioned, the same amount of reciprocal tariffs will be implemented against these nations starting on the 2nd of April. Please have a watch.
Clear. If you look at the unfair trade practices that we have, 50% from the European Union on American dairy, you have a 700% tariff from Japan on American rice, you have a 100% tariff from India on American agricultural products, you have nearly a 300% tariff from Canada on American butter and American cheese. This makes it virtually impossible for American products to be imported into these markets, and it has put a lot of Americans out of business and out of work over the past several decades. So it's time for reciprocity, and it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people, and that's going to take place on Wednesday.
So things are going to get intense here. Even for the US, this may be a hit or miss situation. Either the US will gain huge profits from this, or it will fall into a recession. Here you can see an article by The Guardian titled, "Global Stock Markets Fall as New Trump Tariffs Loom," describing that the tariff effects have already begun. Japan's stock market drops nearly 4%. Here you can see the UK's stock market, the FTSE 100, sliding as tariff fears drive a stock sell-off. France's stock market is also taking dip. The US stock market itself is falling. So a lot of portfolios are going to be messed up in just a few hours. But due to the effects of these tariffs, we are also seeing a strange development in the Southeast. China, Japan, and South Korea have agreed to closely cooperate in response to US tariff. This may be the first time in a long while that this trio is coming together and agreeing on the same issue, which is significant because South Korea and Japan are heavily dependent on the US for their protection against China, North Korea, and Russia. Moreover, China is shaking hands with India regarding this tariff matter. This kind of news is coming from various sources, and China looks forward to a harmonious dance between the Chinese dragon and the Indian elephant with concerted steps. Also in Europe, serious discussions are happening to make a strong plan against the US tariffs and oppose Trump's decision. And if you want to know which European country will be hit the hardest by the tariffs, then clearly the answer is Ireland. They are already suffering from inflation, immigration, and now they will face the double-edged sword of tariffs. So out of the blue, we are seeing that the US is becoming the main target of many nations, and even countries that have disputes with each other are coming together to protest against America. This is wild. Now from all this, a serious question arises. Are there chances that a recession will hit America? Well, nobody can say this for certain right now, but the chances of a recession are increasing day by day. Here you can see an article from the financial company JP Morgan, where they claim that the probability of a recession in the US now stands at 40%. And this 40% number didn't come randomly. It was first 10%, then 15%, then 20%, and so on, and now it has reached 40%. Also, another investment company, Goldman Sachs, has lifted the US recession probability to 35%, up from the previous prediction of 20%. So signs are not good for the US, and due to this recession fear, we are witnessing the price of gold skyrocketing. Gold hit a record of more than $3,100 per ounce on Monday, and it is expected to rise even more in the upcoming days. So, it is becoming clear that either a lot of money is going to flow into the US, or a lot of money is going to wash out of the US. But out of all, one funny thing is that the US is recklessly trying to grab Canada and just wants to squeeze it. Here I want to show you a short clip of J.D. Vance talking about Canada.
As President Trump often says, they just don't have the cards. There is no way that Canada can win a trade war with the United States.
So what do you think about this situation? Will a recession come to the US, or will the US become a more dominant country? Thanks for watching the video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.